Hi everyone and welcome to today's Vlogmas. Now today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that is really important to me at this time of year, and I know a lot of you are going through it yourself. I'm actually of course talking about grief. Obviously the hint is in the title. It's always one of those really weird situations where people don't really want to talk about it and they're not sure whether they should talk about it, but there are so many people going through grief at this time of year, and I just think it's really important to kind of just open the floodgates and kind of say it's okay to kind of cry and be upset at this time of year, but also how to kind of try and think positively. So as some of you guys, or as many of you guys will already know, I lost my dad a couple of years ago now. It's coming up to the 2-year anniversary, which I cannot believe that'll be in March. It still feels like it hasn't really hit me. I still feel like I'm kind of doing too well, and I don't know about any of you guys, whether you've recently lost somebody or even years and years ago. I don't think it ever feels like it's real. It just feels like that person's gone away and there's this huge void in your life that you literally just cannot fill anymore. And it's the weirdest feeling because nothing, no matter what you do or what you say or what anyone says to you, it's not going to change that. So I lost my dad a couple of years ago. He had an aneurysm. For any of you guys that don't know, he was absolutely fine. I saw him 2 days before I went away with my sister Becky. We went to LA, and then 2 days into the trip we got a phone call from his girlfriend, or his fiance at the time, and she literally just said on the end of the phone, "Your dad's dead." Now that was the most, oh my gosh, I cannot even tell you what runs through your mind, and if you guys have had this you'll understand how difficult it is. But what I learned from kind of making my video, first of all, on how, what had happened and when we lost Dad, was that actually so many of you guys are going through this, or you've gone through this already yourselves, and you were so much of an amazing support network for me. And I think that's the most important thing to remember at this time of year, is that you're not alone, and there are so many people going through the exact same thing as you. And there are various self-help groups that you can go to. So I was actually in the doctor's the other day and I saw a little leaflet, and it said that there was a group of people that met, and they were all going through the same thing. Everyone's lost somebody that they love, whether it be their grandparents or their son or their daughter or their mum or dad. Everyone has lost somebody, and they basically meet on the specific day of a specific month, and it's just about coming together and kind of helping each other. That's what I really liked. Also, there's a lot of if you don't want to do anything face to face, there are lots of forums online, kind of self-help books and things like that you can just read, just to try and get a little bit of comfort, because this time of year, everyone's super happy and smiley, and for me it's always been about family. We used to love spending time with my dad and my mum, and family is always what Christmas has been for me. And I know some people out there aren't fortunate or enough to have a family, or some things have happened that have meant that they don't have family around them anymore. And I think it's just so important to remember at this time just who loves you. That might not be in terms of family, that might be in terms of your friends, or if you've got brothers or sisters or nieces or nephews or whatever, but it might just be really close friends that you just have to kind of remember they're there for you as well, and they want to make sure that you're happy. I remember last year, that was my first Christmas without Dad, and it was the weirdest feeling because I've always loved Christmas and I've always really looked forward to it. And last year it was pretty much like, I've just got to get through today without crying. And I tried, but inevitably I got really upset, and me and my sister actually ended up having a bit of an argument on Christmas Day, which we never ever do. We never argue, but it's because I think our emotions were running so high because we've never, had a Christmas without Dad before, and it was just so heartbreaking that he wasn't there. And just to be able to call him and hear his voice, he always used to call us on Christmas morning if we hadn't seen him, because we'd spend time between mums and dads, and it was always quite difficult if you've got a broken up family. So it was really weird not being able to be hearing his voice, and then seeing him a couple of days after Christmas or on Christmas Day was really tough. But I just had to remember, and what I keep remembering now is that my family, the ones that I do have left around me, and my step family and my friends, they are my support network, and they all understand just how hard it is and what you're going through. And I think it's so important to kind of, if you're feeling a bit rubbish, just tell people, because people will understand. I also think, as I said, it is okay to cry. So on Christmas morning last year, I did have a cry, and all I did was just kind of put on my dad's watch, which I don't wear all the time now, only because for me, I'm trying not to get used to having one thing that reminds me of my dad, because I don't want to be reliant on that if that thing ever got broken or whatever, that I'd be like, oh my God, literally I've lost him all over again. So I've got stuff of his that I keep safe and I keep in a little box, and I kind of get them out when I feel like I really need to be close to him, which sounds really strange. But last year, and I think I'll do the same this year, is I just wore his watch, and also I've got a pendant of his as well, so I might wear that on Christmas Day this year. And it's just about, for me, remembering the good times. And I know how much my dad loved Christmas. Always when we were younger, he just loved Christmas. In our village, he'd be the last person to put up the lights at Christmas. And we lived in quite a nice village, so there was like, well, at the time it wasn't amazing, but it was all right. And everyone would have these really nice, like, you know, really classy lights. And my dad would be the last person, and he'd wait until everyone else had gone up. And then he'd stay up until like 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of the night, like doing all the lights in the trees. And anyway, you'd wake up in the next day and literally it was like Christmas had arrived, and there was like multicoloured lights like flashing and like rave going on, and all of our neighbours were like, oh God, he's put the lights up again. And you know what, stuff like that for me I love, because that was my dad, and he used to get us like all the latest gadgets, or like, you know, all the latest toys, and he'd love kind of putting them all together for us and showing them how it all worked. And so I try and remember him for that on Christmas Day. I try and remember all the good times, and I think it's so important not to just feel like you can't enjoy your day on Christmas Day, because actually that person would probably, or those people would probably want you to enjoy Christmas, or they definitely would want you to enjoy Christmas Day. And so it's all about, you know, raising a toast to them if you are old enough to drink. Otherwise, raise a, you know, glass of orange juice or a mulled wine that's, you know, not got any wine in it, I don't know what that'd be, like hot Ribena, to that person, and just remember them for who they are, and just keep that spirit living on in you. That's totally what I try and do. Every day I try and, you know, see what qualities I had of my dad and try and, you know, bring those out each and every day, and just try and make sure that he lives on in me. And I think that's the only way that you can get through this. So I know this year is going to be really, really tough, and I've just got to basically just get through the day. I wanted just to let you guys know that if any of you are going through the same thing as me, I'm here for you. My sister is here for you. We love you guys to pieces, and I do not know what I would do without you. You have been my absolute rock throughout this year, and without you guys, honestly, I would have just fallen apart. So I just want to say a huge thank you. I'm going to get really emotional now. I just want to say a huge thank you for everything that you guys have done. I never cry. I'm really, really sorry. Let me just compose myself. oh, sorry guys. I just want to say, yeah, a huge thank you to each and every one of you. And if any of you guys are going through anything, please know that I am here for you. And on Christmas Day, be it day or night, I will be here for you. And just pick up the phone, you know, tweet me, email me, like Instagram me in your onesie or whatever. And we will get through this day together, I promise you. And next year, you know, it's just going to be new battles, but it's going to be a new year, and it's going to be a very, very happy year, I'm sure, for all of us. So I'm really sorry I got a little bit emotional. But yeah, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your support this year. And yeah, just remember, I'm always here for you. Before I start crying again, I'm going to end this vlog, and I really hope you guys have kind of just, I don't know, maybe it's helped one of you, even if I just helped one of you by just talking about it in any way. But yeah, thank you so much guys, and I'm just going to go off and have a little cry now. I love you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Vlogmas. Bye. I'm taking my shoes off for this bit, because I'm going to start blowing some balloons up. Shit's about to get real cray.